What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining me on D's Analysis. We're going to be looking at Semler Scientific. This is my first time ever looking at this chart here. This is also a Bitcoin treasury company. This bad boy has been range bound for an eternity, it feels like. It's been since 2018, just in the same spot, 7 years later. But they just implemented the Bitcoin treasury idea, and I think that's why it had its nice little move to the upside. We had a little upward sloping trend line. We had a steep one. That one was broken. Now we have this upward sloping trend line. It looks like we just got a close though on the weekly. But we're still within the range. So I don't think that trend line break is too significant yet. But ideally, when you break that trend line, more than likely you're pushing up to retest to continue on down. But like I said, you have this level of support that's been established all the way since 2018, and you had significant touches off of that level. But if we do break that level, you can go all the way down to 22 if you have a significant move to the downside. But if you stay range bound, then that means you can play all the way back up to 54 or so. And if you break through, retest, and push up higher, then you can really have some fun. But you have to break through that $54 to $57 level. On the SMAs, we are underneath all three SMAs. That pushed price down ultimately just now. As you can see, 2 weeks ago, we were pushing up to the 200 week, which was a key level. We actually broke through it not too long ago in November. And once we fell through, that was kind of it. And it was acting as a level of resistance. But let's see if we can get a move back up there and finally break through. But that's going to be very tough to break through. So you have a lot of resistance above your head currently on the weekly. On the daily, the same thing. You have the 50, the 20, and the 200 above you. Extremely bearish, along with this trend line, which is it's a minor level of resistance compared to what you have above your head currently on the SMAs. On the weekly, we are creating higher highs and higher lows, but it's a very, very shallow trend line. It's like a not very steep at all. So we make significant moves and we come back. Significant move, came back, significant move, came back. So let's see if we get another move to the overbought territory. But we are touching this yellow moving average. Let's see if we can get a bounce off of it and push up higher. And that yellow moving average comes in confluence with this upward sloping trend line. Here on the daily, we've actually fallen underneath that trend line that we have established here. Let's see if it actually makes a move back to it, or this just continues on down to oversold territory. But the RSI is looking pretty bearish right now. On the weekly, it doesn't look too bad. On the daily, it looks pretty bearish. And on the 4 hour, we're also bearish, creating fresh lows. And it looks like we might potentially break this low right here. But the ideal scenario would be to get a double bottom and push back up to the yellow moving average and eventually break through that. On the weekly MACD, we have fallen into bearish territory and we're starting to see a little increase in bearish momentum. Hopefully the blue can flip above the orange and you can see the green come back and this red flip to green. And same thing here on the daily, we're pushing down, showing an increase in volume to the downside. This is starting to become bearish, but it can always flip if Bitcoin starts to ramp up and some bullish sentiment comes back around the stock. If you were to pull a fib from this most recent leg up, you can see we made it to the 786 and we actually closed underneath it. So you're at the second to last line in the sand. The last line in the sand is the 886. Ideally, you don't want to lose the 29.87 level because then you can see the 886 and even the whole move can be gone essentially. So we'll see where things go. At the same time, I do think I can kind of see a... You guys let me know what you think. I think this could be a potential head and shoulders as well. Not to be bearish or anything, but I'm just telling you what I see here. Actually, it would actually go down here, so that would actually line up perfect. And this one hasn't completely formed, but if we continue to push down right there, then yeah, we'd have a head and shoulders. Measured target could be a lot lower. But like I said, if there's some bullish sentiment around Bitcoin and just treasuries overall, then this thing can ramp up really quickly, especially since it's a low market cap. Now here on a very, very major scale, you can see we touched the 886 and we're playing around with the 786 now. So let's see if we can get a bounce off the 786 and make it to the golden zone. Last time we made it to this golden zone, you can see what happened. We got rejected right here. 2 strong rejections, actually a third rejection too, and pushed on down. So if we make it back up there, I would expect another key level of resistance there. You have to break through that, get a close, and push up higher. Well, that's all I have for you guys here on Semler Scientific. We do have super thanks available now if you feel generous and you want a tip. Like and subscribe, share with a friend. I'll see you guys in the next one.